Yeah, I think I have the tweet scheduled to go at 9:10, so we're starting before that tweet goes out.
Cool. Do we want to wait?
Nah.
Why do you think?
All right, we're live. We're good. I see us in both places.
All right.
And my Twitch is properly muted.
Okay, let's do this. All right. Getting my throat clear. Hang on. All right. 3, 2. Welcome to Nintendo Dads, episode 368, recorded on March 24th, 2022. On tonight's mini, or shall we say light-sized episode, we discuss the Mario Kart DLC, first impressions, folders, or really? Are there folders on the Switch? I don't know. And the fact that the Wii and DSi eShops have been down since March 16th. Why? Well, we don't know. All this and a lot more. Jesse, cue that music. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Marty here from Nintendo Dads. It's episode 368. It's March 24th, 2022. And tonight on the show, holding it down for you, just me and Jesse. Just the two of us. We can make it if we try. Just the two of us. I don't know where that came from. I don't know.
Neither do I.
It's been a long week, but we've got all the news and views that you can handle tonight. As you've heard, joining on the show, 7-year longtime running employee of the year, Jesse Waldack. How are you, sir?
Pretty good. My son went to the doctor again. Still not feeling well. Turns out he has mono now, so he's had like the last 3 days off of work. I think he's going back to work tomorrow. So
yeah, and as you're saying that, I'm sitting here sneezing with the microphone muted. So it's welcome to spring or COVID. It could be either one. I mean, at this point, who knows?
Always has been.
Hey, Jesse, I don't know if you knew this, but the last 3 days, you and I were sharing almost the same space. I was in Missouri on vacation.
Oh,
yeah.
What parts?
It was down toward the bottom. I was in Branson, Missouri, which is also known as Old Person Gatlinburg.
Yeah, I've never been to Branson. I think my daughter has been.
You could go. You just need to bring your paycheck with you, or several of them.
Right.
Yeah. Best highlight of the trip. We got to go to Hertz Donut. Have you ever been to a Hertz Donut?
I have not. I have heard of them. I knew that they were real.
It was worth every bit of any negativity on that trip. It was fantastic.
I was finally able to get some those cookies that you and Tim always talk about.
Oh, the crumble cookies. Yes,
crumble cookie. Yeah, I bought a 4-pack and they were good.
I see.
It took me 3 days to eat them, but I ate them.
That's where Tim is tonight. He's OD'd on crumble cookies. And Justin is just buried in snow and maple syrup. So it's just going to be the two of us holding it down this week. And we're excited to do that. We're excited to hang with you guys for here just for a little bit. Let's talk about some Nintendo news and other things going on. So let's dive straight into it, shall we? And sure look at our news is brought to us each and every week by you guys over at patreon.com/Nintendo Dads, where a whole schwackload of you are in at least the $1 a month level, where you are giving us or you're getting access to our Discord. And at $5, you're getting access to our full slate of and you know what? Can I say this? After last week, I said this. There is actually a Hambone hotline in the Discord now.
Yeah,
where you can go and
Tim made it in real time last week during the show.
During the show, you can go there and have Hambone Johnny answer your most deep burning questions. I can't promise And I don't recommend using his advice because he admitted last week that all of his answers were going to come from fortune cookies.
Or a Magic 8 Ball.
Yeah. So it's there, though, if you want to use it.
I did post the Weird Al Yankovic's video for Here's Johnny.
Yeah. Did you know that Daniel Radcliffe is playing Weird Al in a biopic?
I think I did hear that. Yes.
He said it's the most fun job he's ever had in his career. Beats out Harry Potter.
I would imagine so. Yeah.
I at this point, like when you're playing Weird Al and you're getting to do all the Weird Al things, I don't know how much different it is from Harry Potter.
It's just no magic wand.
True story. The best concert, one of the best top 5 concerts I've ever been to in my life was a free Weird Al concert at the Tennessee State Fair.
Nice.
The dude played the Tennessee State Fair. There was maybe 200 people there. And if you've never gotten to go see Weird Al live, you need to go. Not his tour right now, because his tour right now, he admits is like a stripped down, but if he goes full tour again and does he came out, guys, he came out in the fat suit. He came out in he came out dressed like a Jedi. He did all those songs, all that stuff. Hilarious. Buddy of mine went and tried to crowd surf and just fell through the crowd. It wasn't a crowd surfing crowd.
I did see a Weird Al concert. My oldest gave me a ticket for my birthday one year. It's been, I think it was 2019. It was pre-COVID. And
so it was like the after he released his last album.
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty much, it was, he did a mix of everything from start to end.
But you do the full-on set piece and costumes and all that?
No, I don't think so. It was like,
oh, wow.
It was just like, it was a smaller type of show.
Yeah, but I feel like maybe
then it ended with Saga Begins, which was epic because the whole house was singing.
Yeah, that's how he ended up with us too. And he ended up pulling out a blaster and shooting his keyboard player. Nice. In the middle of it, full on Star Wars blaster sound effects.
I'm going to word it differently, but Mecca wants us to mention that Weird Al did a voice of a character in My Little Pony.
He did. He also voiced. Yes, he also voiced Retgar in Transformers Animated, who transformed into a garbage truck.
And he actually said the words "Dare to be stupid."
Yes, it was fantastic.
That was awesome.
Both appearances were fantastic. And My Little Pony has cutie mark, or the little thing on its flank, that the little mark was an accordion. It was, and he had the Weird Al curly hair. It was fantastic. Anyway, let's move on. Patreon.com/Nintendo Dads. You can go over there and you can get this kind of nonsense 24/7. It's over there, and $5 gets you the whole schwack load of sub channels. $10 gets you pre and post show audio and art cards and other surprises, and $30 gets you on the show as a Patreon producer, like our good friends Dave Ernsberger, Antonio Contronio, and Solo Something. We want to thank you guys for being in at the Patreon producer level, and we'll thank you again at the end of the show.
Tastes good the second time?
Huh?
Does it taste good the second time?
No, it didn't. Tim is interrupting us in the Discord. I don't know.
Of course he is.
Okay. No, he's posted something that he wants everyone to go over and look at. So that's going to be our first news item of the week. Tim has posted over in the Discord server right now, asking what games you think should be in the Nintendo Dads Hall of Fame. You can vote on these, and we will talk about these later on. But right now, the games that you can vote on are the community. Okay, wait, hang on. These were in the running last year. Sorry. Last year's games. Wind Waker, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Plock, Boktai, The Sun is in Your Hand, Lunar Nights, Super Mario Brothers 3, Banjo-Kazooie, Zelda 2, Wand of Gameleon, Ocarina of Time, and Metroid Prime. The winner from last year's game is obviously it's Super Mario Brothers 3, but you can head over to the NINDADS podcast channel in our Discord, and you can make your suggestions for this year. I've already made mine. It'll be revealed on the show next week. It's going to be fantastic. But let's talk about this week. Mario Kart 8 DLC is out, and we're going to talk about it later on in the show. Short form impressions are it's fantastic. It's marvelous. It's way better than I thought it would be, especially with the tour. I was worried about the tour courses not being great, but then I played the very first one, and there's a point where you're racing and you're going against the flow of traffic, and everyone is coming toward you, and you're going toward them, and it's just they switch up different parts of the course that you can go to, and everyone, they're great. But along with the release of the Mario Kart 8 DLC comes our friends, the data miners, who are coming in, already discovering information on DLC courses and cups that have yet to be fully announced. Now, if you've downloaded the update to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, you can go over there and you can see the cups right now that are yet to be revealed. There's things like the Rock Cup and the Moon Cup and all kinds of other things, but also some of the tracks that are coming have potentially.
Is there an athletic cup?
There is not an athletic cup.
That's too bad.
Unfortunately, there is not an athletic cup. That would be if the Dads After Dark had their own Mario Kart. Right. Anyway, at this point, we're going to read out some of these names. Here are some of the tracks that have been discovered. So if you don't want to be spoiled, I would skip ahead. And that's what they make that 30-second skip button for on your podcast app of choice. And so I'm going to give you a little bit of buffer, and then here we go. Looking down this list, the first thing that I notice is 5 courses from Tour that are going to make their way over to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. These are Sydney Sprint, New York Minute, Singapore Speedway, Sydney Sprint, and Mary Mountain, and Vancouver Velocity. So actually 6 of those. So a lot of new tracks from Tour. And, honestly, I can't gripe about these because, y'all, Ninja Hideaway in the second cup that we got with this first round of DLC is a Tour course. And it is absolutely brilliant. It's fantastic. It's probably the most talked about course from the DLC besides Coconut Mall. But here's my gripe, Jesse.
From Paper Mario or something?
So Ninja Hideaway, it's a weird course. Okay. So you're racing across like dojo rooftops and up ladders and all kinds of things. But the iconography in the game or in the level is like Wario-esque. Like there's garlic medallions with mustaches and all kinds of other Wario-esque things. But then it's Ninja Hideaway, right? And Mario has ninja enemies, ninjas, right?
Ninjas.
They're not in there.
That's too
Ninja
bad.
got robbed.
That was a miss.
They're all Shy Guys. Why are they all Shy Guys? This makes no sense whatsoever. Should have been ninjas. That's my only gripe for the course. It's such an interesting course because at every interval of it, there are different paths you can take. So the course feels fresh like almost every time you play. Now, there's a favorite way that I have that I feel like is a little faster, but you can like even if you fall in some places, like you're going to go down onto a lower part of the track and you're going to be able to boost back up, or you're going to go turn and go through a wall, or anyway, it's really cool. It's a really great course. Also clocking in from the Super Nintendo, Super Mario Kart, Mario Circuit, Sunset Wilds, and Vanilla Lake are all rumored to be part of this DLC. Waluigi Stadium from GameCube, DK Summit from the Wii, that is the one I wanted. That's the one where you're racing along the side of the mountain, you get shot out of a cannon to the other side. Oh, that's going to be so good in this game. Maple Treeway from the Wii, which is where you race through the treetops. And then Sunset Wilds is on here twice. So I'm feeling like this maybe is a typo. It also lists Sunset Wilds from Game Boy Advance. So I think it's probably going to be that one instead. And then last but not least, the last track listed is Rainbow Road from the 3DS. We don't need another Rainbow Road. All right. Like we don't need all of the Rainbow Roads. We don't. It's
that's the flash to the DLC, Rainbow Road Cup.
Yeah, it's just Rainbow Road. It's all 4 of them. This is actually the one of my favorite Rainbow Road courses, though. This is the one where you go off the track and race across the surface of a moon, and so you're jumping out of what do you call them? Craters. That's the word I'm looking for. You're jumping out of craters, and eventually you go back up on the track. So it's really cool. I'm glad that they that we're getting that one. But, that is, let's count them here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 rumored tracks that have, I think this DLC is a good deal, especially if you're in the expansion pass.
Because that's not even half of the tracks that are yet to come.
Yeah, absolutely. So, so far so good. I find myself hoping that like halfway through they'll be like, oh yeah, here's some more characters, but I don't think they're.
Everyone's hoping for that. I doesn't sound like it's going to happen, and since they didn't. It doesn't mean that it's not happening, but they never hinted at. So
it's called a booster course pack. So I'm feeling like there could be a booster character pack. I feel like they've left the door open. Speaking of leaving the door open, Justin Masson has shown up.
You guys got to start locking the door to these meeting rooms. Yeah. I mean, I don't know why we don't lock the doors to our office more often, because I just randomly show up. Hey, I'm not on today. Obviously, I apologize to everybody because I'm pretty awesome. But I actually just want to come on and say, Mr. Marty Estes, congratulations. Congratulations on finally getting folders. I know it's been a cause that you've been petitioning for
Spoiler
years.
Spoiler alert, we haven't gotten that far.
Thought you were a complete fool and it would never happen. And it happened. So
I would argue with you that it didn't happen.
Well, I was gonna argue that Nintendo has pulled the classic Nintendo move, which is I'm going to give you what you think you're going to get, but I'm actually not going to give it to you. And then they step on the rake in their yard. But this is the closest thing to get. That's exactly it. So I'm excited to hear your thoughts, but Marty, this is a real win for you.
Are you making something in the microwave?
Yeah, I'm putting a heat bag in right now. Do you want to see what I had for dinner though? Let's do this real live. Like this is some nachos. Look at that.
Oh.
Yeah, some good
are you putting a heat bag in? Are you hurt?
Makes good for an audio show.
I know. So audio folks, imagine nachos.
Yeah.
That's what.
Are you on the injured list?
No, I'm just being a good husband and getting my wife a magic bag because she's cold and she likes a magic bag.
Look at you.
Yeah.
Look at you.
Yeah.
In the chat, Sean Capri says slowly Justin is turning into Zach Erickson. This is such a Zach bit.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, I need to really think about my life now a whole lot more. Oh, that's unfortunate. Bye-bye.
He hit the end call thing, and I thought it didn't for a minute. He was gonna go bye-bye, and he's just sitting there. A magic bag. Someone in the chat has asked us what a magic bag is. A magic bag is it's like a heating pad thing. It's usually at its base form, it can be full of rice, and you heat it up in the microwave, and it holds the heat, and you can it'll warm you up. Or if you have like an earache or something, you can put it up to your ear, and it'll make your ear feel better. It's a magic bag. It's for aging men and aching backs. It could be. It could be. Anyway, so that's a great segue. I'm glad Justin came through and segued us into talking about system update 14.0.0, where we got groups. We got groups on the Switch. They updated it. Here's what I love. This was such a Nintendo thing, right? This is done in such a Nintendo way. I love it. I love it so much. They dropped this update. When was this? Monday night? Monday afternoon?
I think so.
Yeah, Monday afternoon, because here's the crazy thing. Okay. So I was on vacation and we had left early that morning and driven, and we kind of took our time because it was my family and my in-laws and my sister-in-law and her husband and their kids, and they have little ones, right? So we had taken our time and we'd seen some things that people wanted to see. And it's a 6-hour drive. It's supposed to be a 6-hour drive, and it turned into like a 12-hour drive, right? Because you got to stop and you got to eat and you got to go to the bathroom and you got to feed the babies and you got to, okay, right? So like we're pulling into the condo at the resort we're staying at, and all of a sudden my phone starts lighting up. All these notifications, like, has someone checked on Marty? Has someone? And I'm like, did I die? did I die? I didn't know it. No, Nintendo had just dropped this system update. They gave us folders, around about 7:00 at night with no fanfare. And then once you got inside, to check on the update, they didn't even tell you when it booted the system back up. Hey, there's been a change and you've got folders. No, you had to go to all games first to even be able to get clued into those details.
Yeah, but I did a video showing like a first look and how to manipulate the menus and how to create the groups. And before I recorded, I was sure I had to hunt around and figure it out before I recorded because I didn't want to look like an idiot. I do that naturally anyway, but I didn't need to help myself do it better. And so on my video, in real time, I made 3 groups: one for Dragon Quest games, one for Jackbox games, and of course, one for Picross games.
Of course you did, because that's what Jessies do. So I went upstairs. We got unloaded. We ate supper, and then I got to download the update, and I began to obsessively make folders to the point that I have groups. I'm sorry, they're groups. They're not folders. So for those of you who maybe have not done that yet or haven't been able to play around with it, the feature now exists on your Nintendo Switch console, where when you go to the all games view, that you can now press the L button to be taken to groups, where you will be able to create groups of games. And basically what it does is it hashtags your games with a certain...
I think I like this better than what people think of folders. Like, in a folder, you have a physical item in a folder, and it cannot be in more than one folder.
Yeah.
If you take it out of one folder to put in another, it's not in the first one anymore. But here, it says you just described it like tagging it. You can put the same game in multiple groups.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm going to say that's on my list of pros for this feature, and I will say this: I'm incredibly grateful to be able to have this, because there's some folders that I've wanted to make, or some groupings I've wanted to make for a long time. Party games is one of them. It's one of the first ones I made. I put all the Jackbox games in there, put both Mario Party games in there, put Use Your Words and What the Dub and Astro Duel Deluxe and Overcooked and all those games that we might play in a party game situation. The other one that I made was RPGs, because I wanted all my RPGs in one thing. I put all of the NSO apps in one. And then I set about, after
I want to do that. I haven't done that one yet.
After I forgot, or after I got familiar with it, I set up about creating the ultimate group that I wanted to create, which is called My Backlog. Yeah. So after putting 85 games in there, I named it My Backlog, and it's now there. I have 9 groups. So Jesse's right. You can hashtag these games. Like putting them in the group hashtags them, and you can then go and you can name it and they could show up in different things. And it's actually a really cool feature. I'm very thankful for it. What I'm not thankful for is that in typical Nintendo fashion, it's 2 steps forward, 1 step back. And the feature for groups is great, but you cannot put groups on the home screen.
Yeah.
And you also still cannot manipulate the home screen in any way other than to launch games to move them to the front of your list.
Or to push them old ones back off.
Yes. And not even that, to add to that is if you didn't have enough games on your Switch ever to cause it to go to the all games thing, you couldn't use the group feature.
Well, I didn't think of that, but of course, if you only have 9 games, it's still pretty easy to find the game you want.
Maybe we want all of them to be in a group.
It already is. It's called the homepage.
Well, want to be in another group called My Games. I don't know. I felt like that was the, as Justin said, the Sideshow Bob stepping on the rake in the front yard moment, right?
Right.
Like, why would you not be able to put these in? And the only thing I can think of is that the Switch UI homepage is programmed to only hold games in that slot.
Well, you can change the programming.
Well, you can, but that.
Yeah, I'm okay with actually not having the groups themselves on the homepage. If I had the choice, I wouldn't do it. And so it's still it's also not entirely that big deal if you're at the main home screen with a fresh load with the cursor on the far left. It's 3 buttons to groups.
I agree.
Left AL. But I do wish they let you could just push L on the home screen and be there.
I was going to say that. I wish that there was a way to go to my groups immediately upon starting, like coming out of sleep or booting up for the first time. Press L to go to groups, because L does nothing on the homepage as it is, right? It just makes a noise when you press it. So I saw a lot of feedback on this online. Several people rejoicing in the groups, but some people saying how they did not want this feature, and how that one of the things that they love about the Switch is how minimalistic it is, and how it like how fast it is, and that they didn't want it to have folders or expandability like the 3DS.
Guess what? You don't have to use it.
Right. That's what I want to say. You don't have to use it.
So shush and let us who want them have them.
Yeah. At this point, I am convinced that the way that we're going to get themes for the Nintendo Switch is you're going to have to spend platinum points to send off to get a cardboard cutout of a theme that you lay over your Switch screen,
like in a television slot card,
or like a little plastic cling film. It's like, oh look, now set it to white. Put like this on. Oh, now it's Kirby,
like the Odyssey games, old Pong based games. You literally tape something to your TV. Oh look, you're playing hockey.
Yep, there it is. And so, oh look, it's Mario Odyssey. Oh look, it's Zelda. Oh look, it's
for your younger people who think I'm crazy. Google it.
Look it up.
It's a thing.
Yeah, it's real, and it's probably coming back, because that's a Super Nintendo way. It's like, oh yeah, we've heard you wanted themes. Well, those themes are now available on the website for platinum points. We'll ship them to you in 5 to 6 weeks,
and you have to pay $7 shipping.
Yeah, or hey, you know what? You know what's going to happen? Here it is. It's a brilliant thing. Next month's expansion pass offering is going to be expansion pass members get themes.
That will upset so many people.
And then it's going to be like white, black, red, blue, green, yellow, purple.
And guess which color I'm going to stick with?
Black.
Dark.
It's not even a color. It's just light and dark.
And I'm okay with it. I like the dark theme.
Yeah, I like the dark theme too. Although I have found myself trying the light theme recently, because of the OLED. And also because like I immediately set my theme to dark in 2017 and I haven't changed it. So it's like dark. I have all of my devices are on dark mode. And one
Same
day I
here.
was just like, I can't do this anymore. I'm gonna set it to do the thing where it, like in the morning it's on light theme and then at sunset it goes to dark theme because I wanted some difference, right? It was so bland. And like I'm not, if you're an all dark theme guy, like or person, I'm not knocking it. All right. I was that guy. I probably will go back to that. Ninfriendo in the chat says Labo 2.0 is cardboard themes for the Switch. I like it. I hate it. I hate it, which means
I saw a
probably
tweet this evening that says, I hear Labo's coming out with some paid DLC, and it's a picture of duct tape.
They tried that. Don't you remember? You remember the washi tape that
Oh,
they
right.
sold at the very beginning to customize your Labo? That was It was very limited. It was very hard to get. Like I never saw it in stores. Of course, I never really saw Labo in stores. But you can go check that out. 14.00 probably added some stability to it, but it added groups. Nothing else of note that it added right now. But you can go and check that out by free download. Yeah. Let's talk about this for just a minute. Some folks noticed over the past week or so that the Wii and DSi eShops have been down since March 16th. The question is now becoming, are they gone for good? Have they been switched off with no notice? Now, for those of you who are following, the Wii Shop channel closed on January 30th, 2019. We had a send-off video over on our YouTube channel. You can go watch the last moments of being on the Wii Shop channel. But it said when that shut down, this is a quote directly from Nintendo, for the time being, you may continue to re-download content you have purchased or transfer that content from a Wii system to a Wii U system. Be aware that these features will eventually end at a future date. Has that time come?
I would have thought that they would have at least given warning if this was intentional. That's why I kind of don't think this is intentional. But on the other hand, if it wasn't intentional, it shouldn't be taking a week to fix. So I don't know.
Maybe the one server that still contained the Wii and DSi eShops is bits of dust.
Maybe. But you would think that if this is permanently down, even if they didn't give it advance notice, they would at least announcement, yes, it's down, sorry, goodbye.
Yeah. And just for reference, on time too, the DSi shop closed on March 31st, 2017. Yeah, please understand, it's been down for 5 years. Or it's been closed for 5 years.
Yeah. I don't remember what the game was, but a few months ago I did log into the Wii Shop on my Wii U to download a game, and I was still able to do it. And you could download all your old purchases. That was right.
You just couldn't. And if you can't download those purchases and my Wii U eventually craps out, that's going to be a bad day.
So I actually tried to boot up my Wii and go to Wii Shop just to verify to see if it was still down, but I couldn't find a Wii remote to manipulate the menu.
That's fantastic. That's the most Jesse thing that's happened.
I tried using the Wavebird to manipulate the menu, and Wii says nope, you can't do that.
Yeah. So if you're out there and you can check for us, we'll announce it live on the show, whether it's still down or not. That would be great. But here's the thing. If that's down and my Wii U goes away, we have a problem. Jesse, have you looked at prices lately for a new or used 3DS XL online?
Not recently, but I know that even when they were still kind of available in stores, when they announced that they were being discontinued, the prices kind of shot up on used units right away. And I imagine it's not going to get better. That
Super Nintendo unit that you have, I went and looked it up the other day, and it's somewhere around the neighborhood of $360.
Wow.
Yeah. In the box.
It's like 75% increase over what I paid for it.
Hold on to that. You might be able to sell it and buy some more crumble cookies. I don't know, but anyway, if you maybe we need to have a funeral for the Wii and DSi eShop on next week's show. Hopefully we'll
Uh-oh. We lost Marty here. So while he's fixing his issues, I'll move on to the next story. Dragalia Lost will get its final story update in July 2022. They sent out an email earlier this week. After the main campaign has concluded, service for the game itself will come to a close at a later date. Further details on the end of service schedule will be provided in a future notification. So this kind of, I haven't played the game since it launched, so it really doesn't concern me. But I know Marty says, "Hang on, trying to get back." But I know people who still play it, and the fact that they're terminating it so soon after that the end of the campaign should have people really concerned about how much they invest into these games as a service games, not just mobile, but stuff on PlayStation 5 and Xbox as well. Oh, welcome back, Marty.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
That was really weird. I'm not gonna lie.
We lost your mic and video at the same time, so I went on to the next story.
Well, that's okay. I think what has happened is that my USB hub that everything is plugged into, because I have a MacBook, and that means that there are no ports at all.
Right.
I think that is failing. I think it's time to buy a new one. Hang on, I gotta try to fix something on my headphones.
Okay, so Nintendo asked if it was a good RPG. I don't know. I didn't play more than a few rounds. It was basically, it's a gacha game. In fact, it had multiple layers of gacha, if I remember right. So I passed on that. But people complain that you're not going to be able to play whatever your favorite PS4 game is 20 years from now because the lack of content on the disc itself is either buggy or unplayable, and it needs updates. So if you can't get the updates, you can't play it. But here in a game as a service game, servers are down. It's gone. No one's ever going to play it 20 years from now or 2 years from now. So I think
I played a little bit of this, and I mainly played it at the beginning when it first came out, and then I played it when they had a Mega Man crossover event, and it was okay. I know I'm probably going to get in trouble with some people for saying this, especially Mecha Dragon, but this was not. It was okay. Like it was a good. I'll say this. It was a good mobile game. All right, which just interpret my comments from there. It was a good mobile game.
I do remember, like, when the game first launched, and I had the option of downloading all the data. At the time, it was like 700.
Oh, it's huge.
But I did it. I did it on my iPad. I just recently got Google Fiber, and so I recorded the process of downloading 700 megs. And it was short enough that the music did not loop twice. And I posted that on YouTube. And I still get people seeing that video and putting comments. Things like, best music in a mobile game ever.
Yeah, I mean, the music was good. Here's the thing. I thought the art was good. I think there's been some story things from that I have seen. They've been pretty funny. The writing on it. And really, if nobody archives that's going to be years of people's work that's gone, which is never cool at all. So, just servers going down and game shutting down is just going to be, whatever. Now, they did not give when it's going to end, right? Like they said Final story update is going to come out in July 2022. We don't know how meaty that part of the story is. It's the second part of a 2-part series. And once people play through that, that is the ending. So what I would assume is the game is going to have an end, like a traditional, this is the end of the game.
Yeah, like Killing Kefka ending.
Yeah, it's gonna have an ending. So after that, you can continue to play. I don't know in what capacity, but the main campaign will close, and then the end of service schedule will be provided at a later date. So yeah, so that's happening. And for the people who are still playing it, man, hey, I'm sorry. It sucks because it could be your favorite game tomorrow, and this is why I don't. Shaking my finger. This is why I don't want games to be like live service games. Like, like, why are we moving to all games as a live service? Because then this happens and people are upset or ticked off or whatever because, right?
Yeah. And normally I don't get into them either, but for some Dragon Quest Tact, I've been playing that one for over a year and still play it. I don't play it every day anymore, but I will play it a few times a week.
You want to know what's really going to take some people off? Wait till they shut down Fire Emblem Heroes.
See, that one will be the last game they shut down because that one makes the most money.
Oh yeah, that's the back the dump truck of money up to Nintendo and dump it out once a week, right?
But someone posted, I don't remember what the date was. If someone posted an image of a bar graph of money made in each mobile games, and if you take Fire Emblem out, all the others are relatively similarly high.
Yeah.
So, look out Mario Run, look out Mario Kart. No, the Kart's already dead, right? No. Kart's still going on. Dr. Mario was dead. There was one other one that was still going on that I don't remember. But yeah, they all look like they might have low shelf lives other than Fire Emblem.
Yeah, and remember there was going to be that Zelda mobile game that never came out, right?
For the better.
But here's the like when we're talking about money for mobile games and money that comes through games as a service, this is why companies want to do this because listen to this. Fortnite announced with the start of the new season this month that all proceeds raised between March 20th, which is when the game kind of went live, for season 2 of chapter 3 through April 3rd. So 2 weeks, basically, that they would donate all proceeds raised during that time to humanitarian relief in Ukraine. Right. In 2 days, they raised $36 million.
Wow.
$36 million.
That's
as of today. Or no, I'm sorry. In 2 days, in the first day, they raised $36 million.
Oh.
By March 22nd, it was up to over $50 million. And they have not provided an update since then. That is dump truck money. All right. That's what it is.
That's a big tax write-off.
It is a big tax write-off, but I will say this. The fact that game could take 2 weeks off from revenue, it should tell you something. That should tell you something.
Yeah, that game's making is a money printer.
Money. Still. You see that late night commercial with that guy, and he's like, if you'd like to make money, it's so weird. It's the way he says money. It's now you're going to have to get a soundbite of it and play it when Justin talks about business. I'll send you a link because it's hilarious and also weird. But anyway, one other thing I want to mention right now, just very quick, is Mario Party Superstars has been updated to version 1.1.1. You can go and download that update now as well. It fixes some online bugs and also some general bugs that keep mini games from not ending. It also says it fixes other issues to improve the overall gameplay experience. So you can go out there and check that out. The rumor is also out there that Ubisoft is planning a big event and are currently working on a sequel to Phoenix Rising. That's the Immortals game that came out a couple of years ago, and a new Prince of Persia. Ubisoft's been pretty good to support the Switch.
What happened to the last one they announced that never happened?
Sands of Time. It was just a remake. This is so that we're going
That's
back
the one
in
I
time
liked.
to that.
I
and
would have
getting
bought that one.
I don't know. Why that's happening at all. Also announced this week, Quiplash 3 has been announced as the first game of the Jackbox Party Starter Pack. This was originally released with Jackbox Party Pack 7. If you've not played Quiplash, it's probably one of their better games, one of their best games.
I think it was one when we first talked about the Party Starter. That was definitely one of the games that we mentioned as this game needs to be in it.
Yes, that and Trivia Murder Party.
Yeah.
And so the release is going to have localized options. And I think, Jesse, correct me if I'm wrong, a localized option, this is a first for this game, correct?
That's new. That's new with this version. It wasn't in the original.
So this release was going to have localized options for French, Italian, German, and Spanish. And there's also going to be 2 games that will be included, and the release date will be announced at a later time. Can I ask this? Do you think this is a stopgap measure to give them time to work on Jackbox Party Pack 8, or 9? It's 9 now. Yeah.
It's 9.
Do you think it's a stopgap measure so they can push back and work on it a little bit more?
I don't know. This was announced like a week after they announced 9 is coming, and they did say 9 is coming this fall. And I guessed at a specific date based on the previous pattern of the previous years, and then they announced this one. So I don't know if they didn't announce the date range, then maybe.
Yeah. So do you think it's then what is this? Is this just to pull new people in?
I think so. I think this, if someone doesn't, right now, if they say, what's the best game to play, you get a mix of answers. You want to buy 3, 7, and 5. I don't know what the other one was.
Yeah.
But
I always recommend people start with 3. Like when they say, what is the best? There's 8 of these. What do we buy? I say, go to 3 first.
But like this,
and then if you like it, you can get some of the others.
Yeah, but this one will literally be the starter pack, and then people can branch off from there if they like.
Yeah, I think this is it's a smart move. I think they need to be sure that the games are diverse.
Since it's only 3 games, it'll probably be cheaper. So maybe $10 instead of 20.
Probably. Well, actually, they're 25 when they come out.
25 now. Okay, I think it was.
So I'm guessing
20.
I'm guessing 15.
15's, yeah, I think 15's fair.
$5 a game.
Same rate, yeah.
And I'm guessing it's going to be a game like this. There's going to be some kind of deduction game, like the Alien game or whatever. And then there's going to be a drawing game.
Yeah.
I wish it was going to be trivia. I think Trivia Murder Party 2 would be great for this. But I don't think they're going to give that one away. I think they want.
Let's say putting a sequel game in as a starter pack seems weird, but yet this one has 3. But that's why I was thinking instead of Murder Party, it might be one of the You Don't Know Jacks. Still silly, but
the only thing is that with that is there is no family friendly option for You Don't Know Jack. So they may choose to leave that one out.
That's true.
Because even when they redid it a few packs ago, it was like, yeah, I would not play that with my kids, young kids. It just had some adulty questions, right? Like,
well, my kids are old enough that I'm okay with it, and they're okay with it.
As my kids got older, I would probably play it with them. But
if grandma's in the room, family friendly mode gets turned on.
Yeah, it's NSFG, not safe for grandma.
Right.
Yeah. So grandma probably needs to play Quiplash on family friendly, or maybe not, because I don't know. Ours always tends to skew political. I guess it's an easy target, right? I don't know. Anyway,
but as long as if everyone's in your family is okay with it, then it's fine.
Sure.
If you have someone who has an issue with political topics, then that should be maybe don't do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Guys, we're going to take a quick break to hear a word from our sponsors, Manscaped and Gooder.
Support in Nintendo Dads is brought to you by Manscaped. Hey, listen, folks, ladies and gentlemen, March Madness is here. Now, not everyone can have a perfect bracket, but You can't have a perfect set of balls this tournament season with the sponsors of today's show, Manscaped. The leaders in below-the-waist grooming have just launched their Ultra Premium Collection to give you the total championship hygiene routine. After sweating it out in the games, make sure you lather up head to toe with an all-in-one skin and hair care kit to have your body and balls smelling Final Four fresh. Join the 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with our exclusive offer. Go to manscaped.com and use the code NINDADS, NINDADS, for 20% off and free shipping. This is a Cinderella story you don't want to miss. Gentlemen, I love my Manscaped products. They are part of my everyday routine, and I highly encourage you to get the Ultra Premium Collection. They have got some fantastic stuff. They've got body wash, they've got 2-in-1 hair wash, they've got deodorant, they've got lip chap, they've got a body spray. Man, if you just think of manscaping as below the belt grooming, they do that, and they do that amazingly, of course, but they have this entire hygiene package and kit that they are expanding to that I think you would absolutely love and is part of my day-to-day routine, and I will not go back. I love the Manscaped product, and of course you can too by heading over to manscaped.com using the code NINDADS, NINDADS, for 20% off and free shipping. Big thanks to Manscaped for their continued support. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Manscaped is not the only sponsor that keeps Nintendo Dads up and running. Of course, I'm also talking about Gooder. You guys have heard us talk about these amazing gaming glasses, right, to help block out the blue light. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm looking outside, and the sun is starting to peek out over the clouds. The snow in the great white north is melting. And ladies and gentlemen, sun's out, guns out. We got to be protecting our eyes. They have got some fantastic sunnies. They've got them for all kinds of sports. Do you like running? I don't. But they got running sunglasses. You like golfing? I do. More beer than anything else when I'm golfing. But I like it. Cycling, working out, gaming, they have got it all. Head over to Gooder.com. Check out some amazing styles that they have got there and some amazing collections. If I was talking about, like, what do I recommend? Again, I'm a guy with a bit of a bigger head. The BFGs are exactly what I enjoy, but I have some fantastic glasses over there as well. They've got the whiskey shots with Satan going. Cold English blood runs hot. They've got some Looney Tune ones that are set up as well. Going to Valhalla, Witness. They've got these amazing names. I love these. Mick and Keith's Midnight Ramble. Gardening with a Kraken. Feeling myself literally. Right, there is some fantastic stuff. Vincent's Absinthe Night Terrors. Here's why I love Gooder products so much. Not only are they super comfortable, super stylish, very, very cool, they are also not breaking your bank. You know what I'm saying? $25 for like the Vincent Absinthe Night Terrors. These are the OGs. They are nice and they are reasonable and they are fantastic quality. They're to protect your eyes. I would highly, matter of fact, folks, I have 4 pairs. I have 4 pairs, and not just because they have sent us pairs, I've also gone out and purchased pairs. I've recommended pairs to friends. They're like, those are amazing glasses. Where do you get them from? You head over to Gooder.com, you use the code NINDADS, NINDADS, for 15% off. Get yourself some amazing killer glasses, and that's what Gooder does fantastically. And of course, if you are there, pick up some gaming glasses too to help your eyes through the blue lights. Again, head over to Gooder.com, use the code NINDADS, NINDADS, for 15% off. Big thanks to Gooder for their continued support as well. Back to you.
Looks like Marty stepped away and muted. So while he's out, I'm going to do the PokéMinute.
Pika, pika, Pikachu!
I hate you all.
Oh, he completely dropped. Give me a minute here. Let me fix that. And okay. All right, so April's Community Day goes back to the pre-pandemic 3-hour format. On Saturday, April 23rd, from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. local time, the Community Day will feature Stuffle, the flailing Pokemon, making its Pokemon Go debut, which can also be shiny. Stuffle that evolve into Beware before 7 p.m. will learn the Community Day exclusive move Drain Punch. Trainers can purchase the Community Day special research story Strong Stuff for $1. And during the event, catch XP will be 3 times normal amount and will earn twice the normal catch candy. Yeah, Miz in the chat says, I liked the 6-hour time frame. So did I. It made things more flexible. The reasoning behind it was a few months ago they did a 3-hour event bringing back Bulbasaur as a classic community day, and a lot of trainers liked seeing more trainers out there because of the shorter window. More people had to be out at the same time. So that's why they're bringing this back. Okay, give me a minute here. Okay, okay. Next we were going to go skip what we've been playing and touch that at the end if we had time. Let me see, did Marty give me any messages before I go on? I don't see any. Okay, so, well, oh, here comes Tim. Tim's coming back to save me.
Hey, what's up?
Greetings.
I see Marty fell off a little bit there.
Yeah, I think he's having problems. So, okay, we were going to go to our community spotlight.
All right, community spotlight is what we're going to do, right? So now it's the chance for me to talk about the Nintendo Dads family of podcast updates, right?
Sure.
So with that, we've got Retro Logic, which dropped episode 75. That's with our friends Dan, John, and Sam. They talk about 2022, the year of tactics, Retro Rewind Reboot. So go check that out because they've been doing lots of cool stuff with that, with doing surveys, finding out what the community wanted to do. So if you remember Retro Rewind, Retro Logic has taken that over for us. So, and they're starting it back up with a reboot. And then how to find retro shops in your area was another topic they had. Dads After Dark show dropped episode 95. Which styles of open world game do John and Drew prefer? Drew looks back on his correspondence with Nintendo Power, and they do another very special gauntlet. And don't forget, they also dropped round 2 of the Booty Bracket, which is live. So make sure you go vote for your favorite hot characters of video games. Then you got Game Pass news in episode 45. Nick and Sean host, and they had special guest Hambo and Johnny, of course, who we had on a couple weeks ago as well. They talk about ID Xbox live stream breakdown, the Tunic game, and they all chat about the Elden Ring game one more time, as well as don't forget to check out Game Pass to get your best of Game Pass games for that week. So that's what's going on with the Nintendo Dads family of podcast. Now we got a ton of community questions to go through.
Tim, I want to thank you for stepping back in to do whatever you're doing. Like I'm honest when I say this, that like my computer decided, I don't know what it was going to do, but it did, like this weird, it happened. And then like it just crapped the bed, man. Like that's the only way I know to describe it.
It's like good timing, right?
Well, no, like everything went down. And then when it came back up, and like my mic and everything came back up in my headphones, like there was just this popping, this pop, 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 pop in my headphones for like the last 20 minutes.
That's crazy.
It was, yeah. And so I was like, I'll unplug them. Nope. I'll get a new set of headphones and pull out my Steel Series. Nope. So yeah. So here I am. I'm
glad you got it back.
I just wanted to say I really appreciate you.
So no sounds problem. Like this.
No, it wasn't that annoying. Continue. I'm sorry for interrupting.
No, you're good. That's good. Back in time, great, because we have more of us to answer these awesome questions we got from the community. Like
Yes.
Zablanc dropped down the question in our Discord. Imagine you were dating or just at a party. What historical gaming accomplishment do you wish you could attribute to yourself? And it would be true. So his would be, for example, the guy who made ET for Atari 2600. It's so
Okay.
infamous, and he says he thinks anyone who found out that he made it would be definitely fascinated. And yes, that means he would be Howard Scott Warshaw. So
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
So what do you guys think?
So for me, the one that I came up with is remember when Pac-Man came over here and they changed it from Puck-Man to Pac-Man because they're afraid that people would scrape off the side. No, that's Scott Pilgrim. No, the first one that came.
That fact was real.
The first one that came to mind for me was I created Mario.
Nice. Instead of
That's
Miyamoto, it'd be Estes.
Yeah, Margimoto.
There you go. How about you, Jesse? You got one?
Yeah, I don't remember his name though. Keith someone. I need to look it up, but he was one of the people who owned the Intellivision IP 10 years ago.
Okay.
I'm
So
looking
you
it
would
up
want to
real quick.
keep it.
Yeah, well, I would prefer first. I would like to not die because
yes.
Keith Robinson. But yeah, I actually had a chance to meet him when I was at E3 11 years ago, and that was fun talking with him. We literally we were in the History of Video Game Museum booth at E3. He was there on a couch with an Atari 2600 connected to an old style tube, and he invited me to come down, sit down, play a game, talk, and so I played some Asteroids and was still doing pretty good with it.
Nice.
Yeah, that's actually very cool.
Very cool.
So can we talk just as we're in this pocket for just a minute about
Sure.
what you thought about the Intellivision unboxing that was that showed up this week?
Ooh, good question. Yeah.
I actually didn't see it in its entirety. I saw someone else's reaction to pieces of it, but
Yeah.
I'm still hoping the thing comes out. I have very little faith that it will, due to the events of the last several months.
Yeah.
But so yeah, that's why I kind of didn't even want to look at it.
Yeah.
I watched
So,
it. I thought
can-
I was pretty excited about what I saw there, and I was excited about Amico because of the potential of the family fun
Mhm.
factor that you could have with it, because it wasn't just with those controllers, but you could use your cell phones and stuff. It was just, a simplified version, upgraded version, if you will, of the Wii or Wii U, to me. Or like if they had a Wii U 2 or something, then it would have been something along the lines of that. But I just like that. I like the concept behind it to just be, a fun, easy multiplayer family
Can you,
thing.
Jesse, for those of people who have jumped on like the Nintendo Dads train in the last year or maybe year and a half, 2 years, can you tell them just in a nutshell what is the Amico, and like how long have you been waiting on this thing?
Yeah, the Amico, I think was announced in 2018, maybe even 17, but 18 for sure, with the original release date of October of 2022. So obviously this was all started pre-pandemic, and the pandemic didn't help at all for various reasons. But it was a new Intellivision console that has the wireless controllers that still had the disc and like the original Intellivision system, but instead of a 12-button keypad like a phone, it had a touch display. So Though playing legacy games at least wasn't an option during launch, but if they wanted to put legacy games on it, then the system could put the gamepad display on the controller natively without having to physically flip through plastic pieces and put it into the controller like we had to do back in the 80s. And it was meant to be originally plugged at costing $150 to $200. That went up with games that were family friendly. Originally going to be no more than $5. That went up to about 10. But things that'll be, I think, ESRB E10 and below only. So no violence, none, everything's family friendly, no advertising, and no microtransactions. So it would have been a nice family console.
It would have been. It sounds like.
They wanted to bring back the couch co-op. Yeah, they wanted to bring back the couch co-op.
And listen, all of that's very admirable. The problem is that they're not Nintendo.
Right. And a lot of people were giving them crap on it because they aren't the target audience. If someone who is an avid PlayStation or Xbox fan, or even a PC gamer,
probably not the guy you want.
The Amico's not for you. But, they're meant for the families with young kids who aren't into the other systems. They're for people like from my generation who have nostalgia for the original system. Like I still have my old system here. I could reach over and grab a controller and show it to you. So I don't know if you saw it, but I did try to show it in the camera, but the camera was off-centered.
I saw the gold.
Yeah.
Yeah. See,
and Jesse, I even programmed this. It was recorded on real hardware.
You actually have, do you have financial skin in the game with this already besides what you have purchased? Like the game cards?
I didn't want to say so, but yes.
So
I'll leave it at that. I don't want to.
Let me say this when I hear that. I hope for your sake and those who believed in this and wanted it to actually launch and come out, I hope it's real and I hope it actually comes out and I hope you enjoy it. I hope it's playable. Yeah, and one of the reasons for that is this system. Correct me if I'm wrong. This system was supposed to have the next Earthworm Jim game on it.
Yeah, now sounds like that. Apparently, I think that's the game. The person who started writing it, they apparently never finalized a contract, so he stopped working on it.
Oh, poor Earthworm Jim.
I don't know if it was Earthworm Jim, but one of the games that's basically the situation. And the company's got money problems. They tried another form of funding, and it literally had like $50,000 in pledges in 3 weeks, and they basically canceled that funding. And I don't think anyone actually got charged in that funding case, but yeah. But Tommy's no longer the CEO. The person who was their chief financial officer is now CEO. That's telling of what their priorities are right now.
Yeah, making money or actually releasing a product.
Or right now, earning money so they can stay afloat. I think it was late January, the announcement that they had in paperwork and in public filings was if they don't start making money soon, they're going to go belly up in June, July.
I hate that.
In fact,
I really do.
This topic was on the notes to talk about the week I had COVID. So yeah. Therefore we didn't talk about it. And,
I mean, we can sit here and laugh and joke about it. Right. But like there's real people with a real product that need to make real money for their families. And if it goes under, that kind of sucks.
Yeah.
And there's real people with real families who were hoping to be able to play these games with their family. So, yeah. not the best situation, but you have been waiting a long time.
Yeah.
And
And it from October it slipped into April 21. From there it slipped to October 2021. Then it slipped to maybe by the end of the year. Then it slipped to maybe Q1 2022. Now that's been stricken from the FAQ. So they have no idea when this is going to happen, if it's going to happen.
Tough breaks there. Tim, you want to carry us into our next question? You're
Sure.
doing a good job. I'm gonna just let you. just in case, because here, who knows? This could all go haywire. It's held together with baling wire and a prayer right now.
I'm just throw out mine out there too, real quick.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Totally missed it.
I wanted to be the original creator of Twisted Metal series so that I could bring it back to PS5, make a massive comeback.
It. So, like when you say that, I imagine that image of that guy leaning over to the girl at the baseball game, and she's like got that disgusted look on her face, and he's like, "So, there's this clown who drives around an ice cream truck, shoots missiles at other people."
Right. She's just like, "Who's this guy?" Yep. All right. So the next question is from Sean Abbott. The world now runs on video game logic. What's the first thing you do? A couple examples from the community is Zablanc says, run some side quests for various women, like in Witcher. You see where his mind is. Marty, you put eat a mushroom to power up and then break some blocks with the fists.
I'm just going to go around and punch. I'm going to punch buildings and things overhead and hope stuff comes out of them.
Right. And then Sam, third strongest mole, he said create a save file. Create a save in every file. And then mine was put myself in God mode.
Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of had a few ideas. Is one, figure out like what the equivalent of Game Genie codes are, where you can manipulate
Nice.
the reality, kind of like
Right.
Matrix. And I'd like to know what a double jump feels like.
Nice. Okay, how does that second jump happen?
Because I back when I was in high school and an athlete, I did a triple jump. But if I could double jump every jump, that'd be 6 jumps.
Right.
Before I landed.
That's logic. Yeah, I like it.
You might
like
break
it.
something doing that though. So I don't know if maybe does that video game logic include video game physics?
There's all kinds of video game
Maybe
logic.
if I have
like
Shell's boots from Pokemon.
Okay. Gotcha.
you know, the other one that I thought of was when you see those like those trucks that are supposed to haul cars, you know, from the car lot or the manufacturer to the car lot.
You want to
and
ramp
it's
them?
like it's down and it looks like a ramp. That's extra points.
There you go.
I mean, and
Yes.
the like when I ramp off of it, a hang glider has to pop out of the back of my car.
There you go.
Right?
Nice, easy come back down thing. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome.
I like it. Great
Perfect.
question.
That is. Oh, next one is for you, Marty. You
Okay.
ready? It's a wrestling question. Imagine the 4 Nintendo dads are wrestlers. 2 tag team pairs. Who's paired up together? Which team are the heels? Not sure I have that right, he says, but I think he does.
He does. He
Yeah,
does.
heels
Or
is the right
faces.
term here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Also come up with a storyline why you would fight each other.
Okay, so to give some context to Chris's question here, for non-wrestling fans, a heel is a guy is a bad guy. All right, they're gonna come out and they're gonna try to get the crowd to boo them. They're gonna do things like hitting people with chairs. They're gonna cheat. They're gonna do things like that.
Like Incineroar is the heel
Oh
wrestling
yeah,
Pokemon.
yeah. Incineroar is totally a heel. Let's see who is a well-known heel that like everybody would know. Oh gosh. Okay, so back in the 90s when Hulk Hogan joined the NWO and he was Hollywood Hulk Hogan, that was a heel. He was like, he broke everybody's heart. He was, he's coming out spray painting NWO on people for life.
Yeah, I'm thinking like Jake the Snake, where
Jake the Snake was a heel.
Yeah, he originally he wasn't, then he turned, and then he changed the snake that he carried with him.
Yeah, that's true. And like Stone Cold Steve Austin was supposed to be a heel. His character was supposed to be based off like a serial killer.
But too many people liked him.
People loved him. So, he became an anti-hero. So if you're a hero, if you're a good guy, you're a baby face. All right. So the baby faces, they get cheered. They come down, they slap hands when they're coming down to the ring. They'll interact with the crowd a little bit more. Hulk Hogan,
Roddy Piper is who I was thinking of.
Roddy Piper was a great heel, one of the best. Hulk Hogan, when he would come out to Real American, he would do the thing, where he would put his hand. John Cena, always a baby face. Even when people booed him, he was a good guy. So the lines are a little bit blurred now. But here's my pairing to answer your question. So it's going to be me and Jesse versus Tim and Justin. All right. So here's the deal. You guys are the heels. Tim and Justin are the heels because whenever we try to be upset about something or anything, you always try to bring logic to it and make it not as bad as it is, or you try to business it away. No, we're fired up. We're mad. The crowd's behind us. They understand us. And you come in with and you would come to the ring and you would be dressed.
Crowd, you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's right. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't understand business. It kind of reminds me, there was an actual wrestler back in the 80s and early 90s. IRS. Erwin R. Shyster. He would come to the ring dressed in pants, suspenders, a button-down shirt with a briefcase.
That's totally Justin there.
And look, I always had this idea that this guy should have teamed with the Undertaker, and they could have been Death and Taxes.
Or Ted DiBiase would be another good one to pair with.
Well, yeah, they were. It was Ted DiBiase and him. He was Ted DiBiase's personal accountant.
Yeah.
All right. And they were money.
Maybe that was in the time when I didn't watch.
It was late 80s, early 90s. But yeah, so then Friendo calls you the Canadian Maple Leaf and the Michigan Machine. I like it. But I
used to play, jump in real quick. I used to play online text-based wrestling, as nerdy as that sounds. It was text-based.
No, look, hey.
And
don't listen.
So I did that, and I was the Motor City Madman.
I love that.
That was my name. My final move was the kitchen sink.
Oh, I like it.
And it was basically the Triple
You hit
H's
him with a
move.
kitchen sink?
It was basically Triple H's move, but I called
the pedigree.
Yeah, the pedigree, but I called it turning on the hot and cold water and then doing that move.
Love it. I love it. It's like the Wet Bandits. There was actually for real, there was a tag team in what is now called Impact Wrestling. It used to be called TNA Impact. They were the Motor City Machine Guns.
Okay.
They were awesome. They were really good. Yeah.
Nice.
Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin. Oh, good stuff.
Yeah. My entrance music was Ted Nugent's Motor City Madhouse, I think is the song. So
it's classic. I love it, Tim. This is deep. This is a Tim off deep dive. I love it. And obviously, I never
put that much thought into it.
Yeah. So Chris also says his scenario for us involves Employee of the Year, Jesse Waldack finally snapping and releasing his Pokemon Fury on Masson with a steel chair to the back of the head.
Right.
So of course, when I read that the first time, I saw Pokemon Furry instead of Pokemon Fury.
They're releasing his Pokemon Furry. Well, I just hear now. Talk about my PokéMinute one more time. I will lay this chair upside your head with a plunder, baby. You don't know nothing about PokéMinute.
If if at any time there was a time when an artist was to listen and to make a t-shirt of the Marty and Jesse tag team versus the Justin and Tim tag team, that would be fun.
Yeah. So let me Justin usually gets to do this. I'm going to do it this time. Let me pull back the curtain a little bit. We have 2 brand new t-shirts being worked on right now. 2 brand new t-shirts. We're hoping to show them to you very, very soon. Maybe that needs to be a 3rd. Nintendo Dad's Wrestling Federation. I love it. Justin in his little briefcase. Let's do it. If somebody wants to do the design for that, if you're an artist out there and you like to do that, hit us up, nintendodads@gmail.com. Say I'll do it.
Yep.
And we'll do it. And Reed Dillard in the chat says, give me, I need.
So
we need to get
quick side. I wanted to talk about it earlier, but I forgot. GDC was this last week.
Yes.
And did you see what the trophies looked like?
I did not.
GDC logo. If you can give it a try to find out to see what they look like, give it a look. They were designed by Adam Leonard.
No, they weren't.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's awesome.
That is really cool.
So congratulations to Adam. That is awesome.
Friend of the show. One of the best produced podcasts on the internet. NINDADS. Adam Leonard, John Wall. Y'all head over there and listen to him, but do know there is a language warning. We're just inclined to say that we need to every time.
They say it at the top of each of their shows, earmuffs for the kids.
I love it. I love those guys. They're great. You should go check them out. Tim, let's roll forward here. We got a ton of community stuff.
Oh, we got all kinds of stuff. All right. So Andros, he drops his question. And I think we've been asked this before, but it never hurts to bring it up again. What 3DS game would you like to see get remastered for the Switch? Like his is Metopia, which wasn't just a port, but an upgrade.
Yes. I have my answer.
Yes. Go for it.
Tomodachi Life.
There you go.
Tomodachi Life for the Switch would kill it. It would be awesome.
I wouldn't be surprised if they dropped that one after Metopia came out.
Yeah, I like why is this not on my Switch? It's so bizarre.
Yes.
And it's so good. I mean, it's just there's so much going on in that game. If you've never played it, go look up some YouTube footage of Tomodachi Life. It's so weird.
Yeah.
What about you, Jesse?
Yeah. Let's see. My first thought was Link Between Worlds.
Ooh, good choice.
And then I then said, do we have to stop at 3DS? Because if I go back to DS, we have the 3D remakes of Final Fantasy 3 and 4 that I would like to see redone again on the Switch.
Yeah.
I was hoping for a 6, but they never did it. I would have liked
That's because they were working on the Pixel remasters.
Right. I would have liked to see the Opera House scene in 3D. But at least in the Pixel remaster, they did the Opera House in HD 2D.
Nice.
So, little extra treat there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tim, what about you, man? I think I know what your answer is.
Mine was always Metroid. Any Metroid games, obviously, is going to be what my picks are because I've said it before because I think this came up before, but the Samus Returns game that came on 3DS, I would love it if they would bring that to the Switch.
After Dread did so well, I think that one's like a no-brainer, right?
But without being, what do you call it when people are, I forget the word right now, when you know what somebody's going to say. But
obvious.
Without the obvious choice, I guess. I threw in Madden Football because that was the last time they made one was they did one on the 3DS, and I seriously had a lot of fun with that Madden Football game on the 3DS. I actually still have mine. It wasn't the most pretty looking Madden Football, obviously, but it was still a lot of fun. So, and then to Jesse's point about the DS, I have so many games I would want on the Switch to be brought over from the DS. Like, and I listed it out here in our document, like Elite Beat Agents, Metroid Prime Pinball, GTA Chinatown Wars, Geometry Wars, Galaxies, etc., etc., etc. There's just so many games that I wish they would bring over.
Yeah,
It'd be awesome.
And he even wrote etc. 3 times into the notes.
he
Yes.
did. He did. The 3DS, yeah. I would love a package of the new Super Mario Brothers games, New Super Mario Brothers 2, brought
Yeah,
over for the Switch.
that would be cool.
Ebucel in the chat says Elebits, which is a deep cut, but yes, absolutely. And
that is.
did you? I don't know if you
forgot
mentioned
about
this with Tim.
Elebits.
I know you
Is that-
mentioned Elite Beat Agents, but Rhythm Heaven,
Yeah,
Megamix
Rhythm Heaven. Yeah,
would. Yes.
a new Rhythm Heaven game for the Switch would be cool.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. There's just so many things. And I mean, we've speculated about this before that it seems like it would be possible to put a 3DS game or even a DS game on the Switch if you put it, in portrait mode. But Nintendo's all about accessories, so they would be more than willing, I'm sure, to come up with an accessory for you to get in order to play those games.
Oh yeah, they'll sell you
So-
something. They'll sell you a strap
Right.
or a wheel or they'll sell
Right.
you something. Absolutely.
Circle Pad Pro for the Switch. Puts it in portrait mode.
Wow.
Right.
Yeah. Or they could just, update the controls.
Or a stand, like in Kid Icarus.
The Switch stand.
The Switch stand.
Put it in this and then hold it in it while you play it on
They
Put it
your
in
already
there
got a
and use a
kickstand built
stylus.
in.
Right. All right. Moving on. We have questions that we're asked in our Patreon because Marty does every week ask the Patreon if there's any questions. Like this one from Brolin. Will you be playing Kirby at midnight tomorrow or tonight or whenever? And if so, what are you more excited about or most excited about for this game?
And that's
For the
28 minutes from now for those who are watching live.
I'll be playing it when our copy from Nintendo comes in, if it comes in. I can't wait for that. I'm hyped for this game. Like it's looked good from the beginning. It's really hard for me to believe that the time passed so quick. That's here.
Yes.
I'll probably have it beat this weekend. It's a Kirby game, right? I mean, if I don't have anything going on this weekend, so I'll get some
Yeah, I
extended time to
think-
sit down.
I listened to the
awesome.
start of today's IGN podcast, and I think they said it was like an 8 to 10 hour.
Oh yeah, I'll have it done. This
Not
weekend.
100%, but to finish
To beat
the
it.
story.
That's
Finish
cool.
the
Yeah.
story.
To roll
Yeah.
credits.
Okay.
Cool. I might actually be able to beat this myself without spending 5 years on it.
Breath of the Wild says hi.
Right.
You're never going to get away from it now,
Nope.
Tim. Sorry.
All right. Bruce Patterson, he made a comment, says, I love the Nintendo dads, but not more than Poutine. So just put that out there. So maybe we
It's
need to
nice
have
to know that somewhere on the scale of things
It's
you
Nintendo
enjoy,
dads,
we are
Poutine.
below
Nintendo
gravy
dads,
and
Poutine.
cheese covered French fries.
Yes. I'm sorry, I have to agree with that.
It's okay. I mean, if I compare
Poutine's up
myself
there. Poutine.
to a bowl of poutine, both while both are delicious, I would go with the poutine as well.
Right.
Yes.
I'm that's confidence right there. I'm glad you're all on board about being delicious there, Marty. Solo something with Kirby getting fresh coat of 3D World paint. Who is next on the agenda? I threw out Chibi Robo.
Ooh, that's a good choice.
How about you guys?
I'm gonna have to say the first title that came to mind when this happened is, and this, I don't know if people care or will care for my answer or not, but that's okay. Rusty's Real Deal Baseball.
Oh yes, I like your pick. I love your pick. That is awesome.
I want to see that get a Switch entry.
Yes, that would be another. That would fall under the 3DS thing too, because I loved that game on 3DS. That was so much fun.
Yeah.
I probably spent way too much money in there. Even though you could talk it down, it was still probably spent more than I should have.
How did I know that Jesse was going to pick Zelda 2? Like, seriously. It would be great, though.
Yeah, that game still needs
Zelda
a remake.
2 is a good one.
It does need a remake. It absolutely needs a remake.
Well, why not? They did, Metroid Zero mission.
Yeah.
Do Zelda a Zelda
Zero
2.
mission.
Zelda Zero.
Zelda Zero.
Yep.
Zelda Teenage Mission. Or was he an adult?
Excuse me, princess.
Was he an adult in that game, or was he technically considered a teenager?
I don't remember what his canonical age is in that game. I think he was. If he was an adult, he would still be like low 20s at most.
Yeah. You know what I want him to do with Zelda? Can we chase a rabbit here for just a second?
Sure.
I want a version of Link where he is like old man Link, where he wanders the wastes of Hyrule, slaughtering moblins and just giving zero farts about anything. Like, can you imagine how awesome that would be?
So we get the young Link, we have the adult Link, we have the so old you're a skeleton Link, so we need something in the middle. Yeah, I'm okay.
Yeah,
with
we need like somewhere between Zelda and God of War. It's like Hyrule Warriors, but Link is old and he's cranky and he's achy and he's mad that he's having to fight things.
Kind of like a Geralt.
Yes. Like, what the crap, man? Ganon's back again. How many times have I put this guy down?
I've heard stories of my ancestors going through this.
Let me go charge up the Master Sword and go show him whose daddy is.
Can we add one more thing? Can we add one more thing to this? I always thought it would be cool if we could get Zelda and Link in a modern world, but still having to deal.
I've always said that too.
Like Space Link?
Yeah, something like that. That'd
like
be
Cyberpunk.
Future. Yeah.
Ooh.
I think that would be interesting if it was something like that. So
I like it.
All right. Next, we have a comment from Dad's After Dark show, which says, "I'll miss Sam. There have been a few Treehouse employees that were recognizable over the years, but Sam feels like a constant for so long. I'll always remember her calling out other Sam and her infectious smile that made you love whatever the heck game she was playing, even if it was Donkey Kong."
Yeah, and let's throw some background into what they're talking about there. That Samantha Robertson, longtime Nintendo Treehouse employee, and kind of in a lot of ways the face of Nintendo Treehouse with some other folks, has announced that she is leaving Nintendo after 11 years. In fact, she left last week. She wrapped up her time there. She tweets that she still loves video games and the gaming industry, but she's taking some time to step back and recharge and dig into some creative pursuits that she says, quote, have been languishing on the back burner for far too long, and consider new ways to contribute to the industries and people I care about.
That's cool.
I put this in our poll this week because there's been a lot of people leave Nintendo like recently. Kit,
Mecca just said, Mecca just says she's going to join Kit and Krista on their podcast.
Yeah. So like Kit's left, Krista's left, now Samantha's left. There's somebody else who not long ago announced they were leaving Nintendo as well. It's just kind of weird, like that everybody is leaving all at once.
I don't know if it's just IT or if it's in general over in the West Coast, but my boss would say, who used to work for Microsoft, if you're in the job for more than 2.5 years, you're falling behind, and people will be surprised that they haven't gotten out and found something else yet. So people are always constantly shuffling jobs, like in more in the Seattle area where the big tech companies are.
Yeah,
especially in marketing too. There's always you want to keep fresh in the marketing side of things too.
Well, one of the things
compared to me, I've had the same job for 22 years. So,
One of the things that's being asked in our chat was she stationed in San Francisco like Kit and Krista? And I think the answer to that is no, because I do remember when Jose Otero left IGN and left Nintendo Voice Chat, he was going to work at Nintendo Treehouse, and he had to move north.
Redmond?
So I don't know that if she was, or if they like flew her up or whatever, but I think the Treehouse people were local in-house folks there in Nintendo.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So, you know, what's hard about this is that, like, while I've been a person who's been affiliated with like Nintendo content creation now for 5 or 6 years, a lot of the people that have been at Nintendo who were there when I came into it, and even when Jesse, even longer, since you were, OG Nintendo Dad with Justin and Zach, a lot of those people that were there when we started doing that content creation have either left those roles or passed away, like Awada. Reggie's not there. Awada's not there. Kit and Krista aren't there. Now Samantha, there's been others that have, who was like, there was the guy Damon that used to be over the Nindies. He moved on and went to work for Xbox and stuff. So it's just, it's kind of strange. Like I'm not saying like, don't like send up the smoke signals and sound the alarm yet, but like, it's just, I don't think that we're used to turnover like that as quickly in Nintendo circles, or as like, okay, they left and they left and they left and they left.
At least not people high enough where we would know them.
Sure.
Normally
sure.
you think the turnover is in the lower ranks where they're hidden from us.
Yeah, and I think there is a certain amount of discontent that we can attribute to pandemic life, and lots of people, no matter what area they work in, having that discontent and moving jobs or changing jobs or just not going back to a job that they used to be a part of. So I get it. Like, I'm not blaming her at all. I'm just saying it like, the first thing I was like, oh no.
Right.
Don't leave. I don't like change. But anyway,
from my point of view, I wouldn't be able to point her out in the lineup. So I'm not sure who's.
If you saw a picture of her, like, you would go, oh yeah, her.
Okay.
Like, featured very prominently in the Treehouse where they first revealed the Switch, and they were like playing Breath of the Wild and interviewing Reggie,
and apparently Donkey Kong. I remember that Treehouse because I was really excited about it.
Yes, you're right. So yeah, there you go.
But those things are always, it was weird when Kit and Krista did it, and so anybody we're used to seeing for a long time is always tough to see move on, because they're comfortable,
By the way, I really enjoy their podcast.
Yeah,
I think it's good.
That's good.
I actually haven't watched an entire podcast yet, but I do watch when they release highlight clips. They're 5 to 15 minutes long.
Yeah,
all those I watch. So
I'm really
if I watch
enjoying
all of those in a week, I'll see most of the show.
Yeah, you will. I was very pleasantly surprised to hear them talk, like how they talk about, and I really enjoy their talk about non-Nintendo things. It can't all be like, oh, this is what we did behind the scenes.
Right.
But now the episode that they did about the Switch launch, where they talk about like what he had to do and what she had to do. Like, I had no clue that like Kit was in charge worldwide, globally, of the press for Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, that was
like, he was in charge of all marketing for Breath of the Wild. She was
crazy.
In charge of the experiences that they set up across the United States, where they would like go into places and they would build like this glass cube,
right,
where they would like bring people to play the Switch, and when they would like have it docked, and things would be like all the glass. They had it the system.
I remember those.
Where it was the glass was frosted until you undocked the switch, and they would have them. They would set up this moment where it was like, "Hey, go and undock this," and they had blindfolded these people and brought them to these locations. And so they like undocked the switch and the glass unfrosted, and they would see like, "Oh, we're in Vail, sitting on the side of a mountain in the snow, or we're in the desert, or we're in New York City in Times Square." It was really cool just to hear their commentary about like what they were doing behind the scenes. But anyway, listen to Nintendo Dads. They're way better.
With that, we have another question from this time from Twitter and from our question producer here, Mecha Dragon 101. His question was, it was spawned by his participation in our dinner table. Here's my question for the podcast tonight, guys. A bit inspired by what Tim and the gang talked about on the dinner table last week. What are some of your video game magazine memories? And do you have any favorite magazines you'd like to share as well?
I'll start. I wasn't much into the magazines. I did have Nintendo Power for at least the first 4 years. But, so what I would say about my favorite gaming magazine memory is I was originally a member of what they called the Nintendo Fun Club, where they would have more of a pamphlet that they sent out with information as opposed to a full magazine. It was really thin. I think quarterly, so not very often. And then that was free. That was just, you signed up, you get it for free. And then when they started Nintendo Power, issue 1 was given for free to everyone who was on the Fun Club list. And then if you wanted issue 2 and above, then you had to start paying for it as a normal magazine.
Yeah, that's cool. I wish I would have known about that when I was in, but my story kind of fits into this a little bit because I had friends who had Nintendo, but I couldn't get one. And I've talked about that before and why and all that kind of stuff. But eventually when I did get a Nintendo, it was Super Nintendo. And the reason why I found out about Super Nintendo was because of EGM. And I would talk about that. I remember looking at, and this is what I talked about on the dinner table with our community, was that I remember having that issue of EGM, bringing it to science class. And when we had free time, broke that out, talking about it with my friends in science, about that I'm going to get a Super Nintendo or whatever, I don't know if it was called Super Nintendo at the time or if it had that prototype name or whatever, but I was like, the next Nintendo that's coming out, I'm getting it. So
yeah, I don't think that ever did have a prototype or project name. I think it was just always Super Nintendo.
Okay, so that was the one I shared. How about you, Marty? Did you have one?
Yeah, so I think I've talked about. I think I mentioned this last week on the show actually about having this like coffee table full of Nintendo Power magazines. Like it had a door that opened up, and that's all it was was video gaming magazines. I had at one time I had a subscription to Nintendo Power and Game Pro and EGM. So I was getting like 3 magazines a month. And I still to this day remember running down to the mailbox and pulling out the issue of Nintendo Power with Super Mario 3. And it was on the cover, and it was this clay Mario, like sculpted out of clay. He was in the desert. He was flying into the sky, with the raccoon tail and ears. It had the sun behind him. It had like the palm trees. Looked like it was straight out of World
the Angry
TV.
Sun?
Yeah. And it had this full like expose or whatever on Mario 3, like talking about all yeah. And they would do, then Friendo mentioned this in the chat about the player guides that would come out every now and then, like a bonus issue. They had player guides for Mario 3, and I want to say there was a player's choice football one or something like that. There's some weird ones, but those were always like, they would take you all the way through the game. It was super cool. I do remember though, like very, very early on in owning my Nintendo, you could send away to Nintendo for Super Mario Brothers tips and tricks hint book that would walk you through. It was a book, like a little digest sized, volume where it would walk you through every level of Super Mario Brothers, like frame by frame. It was the way that I knew, like in those castle levels where you have to go through the maze a certain way.
Right.
I remember I learning about it from there. And there was a Zelda one as well for the very first Zelda. Would teach you how to go through the game, get 100%, all that. And I would sit and I was just like, I don't think that like our kids today, like, yeah, they can download games, right? That's cool and whatever, and get it like that.
Right.
But how cool it was as a kid to sit and look through those magazines full of art and letters from fellow gamers, and articles
and look through them multiple times,
previews
until that next issue came out.
Yeah, all kinds of stuff that like, you would wait for bated breath or with bated breath, for that next issue to come out and learn more about, oh man, Mario 4. Oh no, it's called Super Mario World.
Right.
I had all those issues. I wish I still had them. I
know I wouldn't have been able to go through games like Kid Icarus without those in-mag maps.
Right.
Yeah,
those were always fun. Or even like the hint sections. Like EGM was like the one I always went to the most, I think, because of just being able to keep up on all the gaming news. And I remember the Quarter Man, I think it was, section in EGM.
Yes.
So that was always a fun read and stuff too. So yeah, there's lots of memories there.
There is there's the legend of Steve Wozniak writing into Nintendo Power his score for Tetris on the Game Boy. And he held the top slot for so long.
Yeah.
They eventually stopped publishing his scores. They thought he was cheating. And so they refused to publish his scores. So he wrote in under a fake name, and it was just his name backwards, and they published it. Anyway, you can go back and you can look, you Google Steve Wozniak Tetris Nintendo Power.
That's hilarious.
It's really cool. And I'm sure that there's scans.
Back then, I don't think I knew who
archives
Wozniak was, but
right
out there. But just, God, I wish we could. There's something about that era of, finding out about games via those magazines. So nostalgic. Feels
on
so
the dinner table. We
wonderful.
We're hoping and talked about would be how cool it would be is if they came out with a volume of hardcover books that reprinted the Nintendo Power magazines. So
yeah,
we thought that would be a cool thing.
So there's actually a magazine I wanted to bring up right now that is actually in print. This magazine is being printed. You can get it either via PDF or you can get an actual printed copy. Switch Player that's out there. You can go to switchplayer.net and you can see about the magazine. You can also see how to subscribe to it. You can get the PDF for as little as $1 a month or $1.50 a month. You can also get a print copy for $10 per month because it is published overseas. It comes to us from the UK, and they've got some really cool, cover art and different things like that. So I would encourage you to go check it out.
There's that. There's also Nintendo Force, and there's
Nintendo Force is great too.
Ninty Fresh, I think, in the UK as well. So there's a few magazines that are out there. In fact, I was showing off one that I bought because it had Metroid on it. I think it was Ninty Fresh's version.
Yeah.
So lots of cool stuff out there. And you can even use Patreon, I think, with Nintendo Forces magazine to pay like $6 and you get like the digital version and the print version. So lots of options out there if you want the magazine. And I know a few people in the community bought into that, so they can't wait to get the next issue.
That it's hard to find websites nowadays that are specifically gaming related. I think Polygon is the one that comes to mind that's probably most people will know of. But a quick Google search shows that EGM has went all digital, and you can actually go and you can read reviews and previews and all kinds of stuff. That a whole website is totally video game related. It's egmnow.com. And so you can take a look at that over there. And they've actually also become, and some people may turn their nose up at this, I don't care. They became Walmart's Game Center magazine. If you go to a Walmart near you, there's a chance that these magazines, which are free, are sitting in piles in your video game section. And so you can go and grab a magazine.
Yep.
Check it out. My son gets one every time that we go to the store. It's a little bit of nostalgia. I enjoy looking through them.
Those are always fun. That was a great question, Mecha
great
Dragon, as
question.
usual. And you could tell we spent a lot of time on that one. And it
Yep.
looks like, Jesse, we have a voicemail.
Here we go.
Hey guys, it's me, Christian, and I just wanted to let you know that my family and I just got back from spring break and we had a blast. Part of the reason why we had so much fun was we got to play the DLC for Mario Kart, which was really nice. We had a great time. But even saying that, I don't know, I just feel like I'm calling you guys for you to talk me out of my negative feelings towards it, because after playing it by myself, I kind of noticed some weird things on the game, like the textures of the game and how short the tracks are. I don't know, I feel like I paid, the Nintendo some money for it, and I didn't get what I was expecting. Maybe my expectations were too high. So basically my call today is just to see what you guys think. You probably already talked about it during the show, but maybe you guys can talk me out of my negative feelings towards it, or maybe you'd agree with me. Well, I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks again for all your effort you put in the show, and I'll talk to you guys soon. See ya.
First thing I want to say is, yeah, you paid Nintendo money for this, but still, you only got 16% of what you paid for. The rest will be coming throughout the next 16 or 18 to 23 months. So if you didn't
And
like
it's
the
okay to
first
have those
set of-
negative feelings too, by the way.
So if you
Absolutely.
didn't like the first set of tracks, you might like something later.
Yeah. And they might add some tweaks here and there too. Maybe it wasn't perfect when they launched it. So
And can I just say this couple of things? I don't think Christian, I want to hear that you say this, or I want you to hear me say this. I don't want to invalidate what you're saying. It's okay. Like Tim said, it's perfectly okay to not like something or go, oh crap, why did I buy this? But a couple of things. Number one, look at it this way. If you paid for this DLC, it's 50 cents per track. You paid $25, you're getting 48 tracks. It works out to about 50 cents per track, maybe just a little over. The second thing is that some of those tracks are short because the games that they were developed for had short tracks. I'm specifically thinking of the Game Boy Advance Mario Kart.
Yeah,
I
hate GBA.
I hate that game. I think it was Mario Kart. Was it Super Circuit? That's what it was called.
Sounds
It's
familiar.
not great. Like if you go back and try to play that on Game Boy Advance, it's not like, it's very Super Mario Kart for the Super Nintendo. Like instead of turning your cart, you're turning the stage. You know how when you play it on the Super Nintendo app and it feels like you're turning the stage and not the cart. That's the way it felt. It was super slippy and I just didn't care for it. But that track is one of my favorites because it is so short and like it's super urgent, right? Yeah. But the others, like I guess I was so blown away by the tour ones and Coconut Mall is short, but it has lots of different routes. Choco Mountain is short, but it's also Nintendo 64. Wasn't a whole lot they could do with that. I do like the improvements that they made.
yeah.
But I think Jesse is being attacked by his cat.
Yep.
Yeah. Be sure it doesn't sneak up behind you. I actually saw that happen on a podcast footage this week from another podcast I'm familiar with. This guy was getting attacked by his cat for like 20 minutes. Like it was Yeah, I think he finally had to disconnect. I don't know. We don't want you to do that though.
Yeah. My cat doesn't like jumping on top of chairs, so she was actually trying to find a way to get down.
There you go.
But couldn't find a graceful way to do it, so I had to help her.
Tim, what about your thoughts? Anything else?
Basically, it's I think where it came down to is what he said was when he played it in single player mode, that's when he found the issues.
Yeah.
So I think the most fun I've been having with it is just with the community and playing with others and my family. And so I think he said he played with his family and they had fun. So
he did. Yeah.
So
I've not gotten to play them anywhere other than single player. So I'm judging it completely on that.
Okay.
I did play a little bit with my son, like local co-op.
Yeah.
But we didn't play it very long.
Yeah. So, I mean, again, you have every right to feel that way. And maybe maybe you're just not in that mode. Cause there's times when I feel like I'm playing something because everybody else is playing it, or maybe you feel like you have to like it because everybody else is having fun with it or something like that. Just maybe give it some time, back away from it, just have fun with it with your family, and then come back to it later, and then see with some fresh eyes, and maybe you'll have a better view of it. So,
I would say come back to it in 2023 and see how you feel.
Yeah, or
like
even when the next
or halfway through.
Yeah, or even when the next bundle of courses come out, don't force yourself to play something you're not having fun with. Come back to it. Maybe you're just not in the mood to do it single player and try to get those golds. I mean, I guess you have to in order to unlock those other tracks, but I get it, and there's nothing wrong with that.
It is really hard, I think, to go to, like, if Mario Kart was only single player, it would be kind of tough.
It wouldn't be a great game.
Right? Yeah, I think that's the thing we need to focus on here is of course it's not built for a single player experience. I don't think it's there in case you want to play it. I enjoy it.
The single player experience is mainly for training, so you get better at playing in multiplayer.
Yeah, I really want to get 3 gold stars on all the tracks. Even though I did what I needed to do to get Gold Mario.
There you go. That's a great question, though, Christian.
It is awesome. Absolutely. Like, I think it'd be easy to just go, quit whining about it. It's just $25. But for some people, that's a big investment. He says in the chat, cool, thanks for your advice. Appreciate you value my point of view. You're welcome. That's what we do. Well, guys, here's what we're going to do. We are going to skip what we've been playing this week and come back to it next week, as well as I do want to say this. There was a question last week from our community about basically being able to whether we can enjoy things when the creators of those things have a stance that maybe we don't agree with or don't believe in. And we put it off till this week. And then several of us, Jesse and myself included, have just had crazy weeks. And so we wanted to kind of have a show where we got done earlier. Like I said at the beginning, the light version, which actually has turned into the not light version.
It's still a 2-hour show. But at least it's faster than 2.5 hours.
Right. So we're going to answer that question. Tim is putting it in the notes. We are going to answer that question next week on the show. We don't want to forget it because it is super relevant it's not that it's overwhelming. It's just that there's a lot to unpack with it. And I want to be sure that we do it the right way and don't just go, man, just go, do what you want. That's not the answer people are looking for. So I want to be able to do it justice, and I want to be able to talk about it. And I think it is a super relevant topic because Hogwarts Legacy is coming to Switch, and it is going to cause some people to make some decisions like that. So we're going to talk about it on the next week's show. Also, next week, we're going to get around to talking about our picks for the Nintendo Dads Video Game Hall of Fame for 2022. and so much more. Hopefully, who knows? We could get system update 15.0.0 by then, and have stick-on themes that they mail to us over snail mail, 7 to 9 business days.
I was cracking up when you guys were talking about that.
Yeah, it's coming. I'm telling you, there's going to be here's some stickers to put on your Switch.
That's awesome.
I'll probably still get them. Actually, can I make a confession? My platinum points are quickly depleting because I am a total sucker for those icons every week. If I had tried to get all of them, I would be broke. Yeah.
My platinum coins go down because they expire.
Yeah, and I'm not playing any of the mobile games to get platinum coins anymore, so I'm not doing it. Well, guys, we're gonna close out episode 368 of Nintendo Dads. We want to thank you for tuning in, Tim. Thanks for popping in when we had some technical difficulties, and also thanks to Justin, who popped in long enough to show us his magic pad or whatever it is that he was heating up, and make a few comments.
Get offended when someone compared him to Zach. So
yeah, and he left. But no, we love Justin, and we're thankful that he got to be on for just a minute. As we close the show, we want to say a huge thanks to our Patreon producers, Dave Ernsberger, Antonio Contronio, and Solo Something. Thank you guys for backing us at the $30 level over on patreon.com/Nintendo Dads. You can head over there right now. For as little as $1 a month, you can become a patron of the show. We would super, super appreciate it. We love each and every one of our patrons, no matter which level you back us at. Also, I want to say a huge thanks to our followers on YouTube, 6,074 subscribers, and over 1,200 on Twitch. And there's 27 Twitch subscribers who also get access to our Discord community and activities by sponsoring us with their Twitch Prime subscription. They subscribe and they get into the Discord. You can do it too. Remember, you can get 20% off your order at Manscaped and Gooder by using the code NINDADS. That's NINDADS. Helps us out, helps you out, helps everybody. It's good. Check out our merch store at nintendodads.org/merch, and just head over to our website, nintendodads.org, for a lot more sweetness and all of our socials and things like that. Email us at nintendodads@gmail.com, or call in and leave a voicemail like Christian at 929-25-NDADS, or that's 929-256-3237. I want to say a big thanks to OC Remix for the music you're hearing right now and used throughout the show. And reminder, wherever you listen to us on your audio device of choice, be sure to give us a 5-star review and write some words about how much you love the show. Tell us what you like. Tell us what you don't like. Hey, it helps people find us. We just want you to be honest. And remember, you can always email us at nintendodads@gmail.com with your suggestions, your questions, your comments, or if you just want to give us a recipe for like something you enjoy cooking. I don't know. Or you want to buy Tim toys. I don't know. Anyway, for me, for Tim, for Jesse, this has been episode 368. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to Nintendo Dads.
We sound like the goddamn Nintendo Dads all of a